Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of my What's Lurking in the Dark series. I have my assistant Boris here. He's been kind of giving me the evil eye because I've been excluding him from some of my videos, but I thought I would let him pop in and say hi. So I just want to throw out a question there about what everyone is reading during October. Like, what is the most scary thing that you have read this month so far? What monsters have you been reading about? I mean, vampires, werewolves, maybe a mummy, maybe a unknown monster, maybe a alien or some sort of higher being from another world. Something really truly horrific, maybe a crazed serial killer. Well, I want to tell you guys that I have just read a story where the monster, and I use that term very loosely, is more weird and more terrifying than any of them monsters that you may have been thinking about. I have just read a story about killer boobs. Yes, killer breasts. More specifically, the right one. So, the story that I am going to be talking about today is called Titanium by Alexandra Challoner. And her channel is called the Bookubus. Now, I have heard about her channel. I haven't watched her stuff, but maybe I should. So, there's not that stigma attached to me liking her book because we're, friends or whatever. This is going to be my raw thoughts about it. So as always, I'll have the Bookubus or Alexandra's channel linked down below, so it'll be down there. So give her a watch, give her a sub and see what she has to offer. So this book focuses around our main character called Lisa. She has a cat called Mr. Jangles as well. And Lisa is, well, the book opens up, and the first two sentences that I read made me seriously think about giving this story a skip. And let me just read you these two sentences, and if you know why this is, or why this kind of upset me a little bit, then you know. But this is what it says. What if it's something serious? What the hell are we going to do if it turns out I have cancer? Now, one of my friends this year tragically passed away from cancer. And no way at all am I blaming this story or anything like this. This story was written way before my friend was diagnosed with this disease. And the cancer that Lisa has within this story is breast cancer. It doesn't go in super depth about it, but it does say about some of the procedures that happens. So Lisa as a character is a very timid person. She likes to keep her head down all the time, and at her place of employment, she's about to be promoted, or she thinks she's going to be promoted, and a guy gets the position, someone that she deems unfit or unworthy to get the position which she thought that she should have actually got. As the story progresses, we find out that something is not quite right with Lisa after the operations and the treatments that she's had for her breast cancer. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but she has some sort of like metal on her right breast, and she's hearing voices, and it turns out that somehow, I have no idea how this happened, but somehow her right breast is sentient. It talks to her, and it can even take over Lisa's body. And the reason why this is occurring is because this entity within Lisa's breast is convinced that its job is to avenge Lisa with all the men that have wronged her in the past and current situations, and try to, yeah, get rid of these people by murdering them. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, how can a woman's breast or boob kill someone? And trust me, even I'm not fully aware about exactly how this occurs. But as far as I can understand it, there are these metal spikes that come out of the metal on Lisa's boob and impales its victims. When this entity takes over Lisa's body, it's not really established whether she's fully aware about it or whether she's unconscious while this is happening. Sorry about that, guys. I think I'm coming down with a little bit of colds and my sinus is a bit bunged up. But anyway, when Lisa finds out about this, she confronts this entity within herself, and she says, well, what right have you got? You know, she's already had her ex-boyfriends murdered, and this man that was a part of Lisa's past that was always picking on her. One part of this book, she was saying, oh, I'm not going to meet up with him. He's texted me asking me out, and I'm not going to meet up with him. So I thought, okay, fair enough. But the next part, she contradicts herself and meets up with this person. Now, I believe that's when this entity took over her body. And I think this entity uses sex to lure in its victims. So this story was... it was kind of a mixed bag. It was a little bit slow sometimes, but it was very, very out there and off the wall. This is probably the weirdest thing I've read. I was going to say this year, but probably ever. And I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, in media nowadays, there are loads of things about, yeah, girl bosses and, yeah, I don't need no man, and, yeah, women good, yeah, men bad, and all that stuff. And that's how it's portrayed in this book. All the men seem to be portrayed in a negative way towards Lisa. But I can forgive it because this book was so stupid in its premise that it was entertaining. But this story was worth a read. It was slightly better than the last one that I read from this whole collection, but only slightly. It wasn't that it wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible, but it was good. It was good. So guys, let me know what you thought about the story about the avenging killer breast. And yeah, I thought it was definitely different, I'll say that. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about it, guys. So with all that out the way, I'll see you in my next video.